Every time I publish a YouTube video, I end up spending 2 to 3 hours doing the exact same thing. Drafting an announcement email, drafting social posts, deciding what to clip into shorts, and then scheduling it all. And honestly, AI has gotten good enough these days that it can take a lot of that off of my hands. So I decided to put that to the test. I built a little app to do all of that stuff automatically for me. It doesn't look very good, but let's watch it go. I'm gonna hit check now. What it's going to do is check for my latest YouTube video, which is this one right here. And then it's gonna use this service called Transcript Downloader to get the transcript because it's not readily available. So it's identified that now. And it's sending it to Anthropic next to draft up a whole bunch of things. You'll see it just popped up. First of all, it drafts an email for me to send out to my list to announce the new new video. It drafts a social post for me to post on different channels. Here's the transcript. And it also identifies a good segment to clip to turn into a short. So I can post it on Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts and whatnot. And more than that, it also schedules it on these different platforms. Once I take a look at the text and I can approve and schedule it, and then what I'll do is connect to Metricool first of all, and I'll schedule the social post. This is a social media scheduling tool. Now, originally I wanted it to schedule the email in my email software as well, but unfortunately this API doesn't expose an endpoint to do that. So I'll have to copy and paste these elements into here as a new email. It's still going to save me a ton of time though. In terms of the short clip, so I edit my videos with Descript, and it's got an AI component to it, which you can just paste in this prompt and it will actually do the clipping for me. And then I can just export the short. So is it done? Yeah. So here it's scheduled in Metricool. We go here and we refresh this, we should see the 2 posts come up. Here we go. And on Monday, this is my task management software. So here is the new task. It's just assigned to me. And this is the prompt for Descript, the video editor. And also, I just, for funsies, had it send me a Slack DM when it was done to let me know. So there it is. So you can see I've tried this a few times just to make sure it works. Now, yes, this saves me a lot of time, but the other reason I built this tool is to try out Zapier SDK. Now, the promise here is that rather than individually building the connections to each of these services, I can just have my app connect to Zapier SDK. And then in my Zapier account, I can make all the connections. And then my app just has to interface with one thing and it can use all of these different services. So I wanted to show you how that works because if you've worked with APIs before, you'll know how much time that saves, because check this out. Each of these different platforms has its own documentation of how to connect to, authenticate, and work with that platform. Each of them has different endpoints, meaning like different actions that you can take on the platform. So Slack has its own, Monday has its own. Then for each of them, you're going to have to manage that API networking code. And then from time to time, they update the APIs as well. So what was working may not work anymore. So the promise of Zapier SDK is that it handles all of that for you. So you just authenticate with all of these different apps. It has the connections here. Zapier refreshes tokens if it needs to, and just keeps things secure so that your app can just make one single connection. Now, one big question that popped into my head when I saw this was, how does my app know what endpoints to call if all it sees is Zapier SDK? Because inside my Zapier account, I did not pre-configure actions or endpoints. My app isn't just calling, hey, send a message through Slack using this endpoint, and here's the data. In fact, you know what? Let's just jump into code. I'll show you the relevant bits and kind of show you how it works. So I built this app using Codex, and I asked it to show me the relevant bits of code from the app. So here is where the Zapier SDK gets integrated. This is where it gets declared. And then when it wants to use it, it will get an instance of the client, and then it will run action. So that is the generic API call to Zapier. And based on the parameters you put here, Zapier then decides which app to call, what to do with it, and how to transform the data that you pass in into what that API for that app would accept. As an example, here is transcript downloader. This is a better example, actually. Metricool here. So this is where it schedules the social media post that you saw earlier. And you can see the action type, you can see the app there, the action, and then the inputs here. And this is how the API call looks like, the same sort of format for all of the services here. I think that's pretty cool because if I were not using Zapier SDK, then I would have to go through all of this documentation for each service that I wanted to integrate with. I would have to understand how it works, understand how to authenticate with the API, what are the endpoints that I need to use, how to supply the request parameters in the proper format, and then update things as the API changes and manage all of those API tokens inside the app in a secure way. Now, even if I were not coding it myself and an AI agent was doing it for me, this is still good because I don't have all of these API keys floating in my app. I just have one connection to Zapier. With how easy it is to build apps these days, especially with Claude Code and with Codex, I do think a lot more people are going to start building their own internal tools that fit exactly their needs. For example, maybe you need a CRM, or maybe you need a task or project management software. And right now, these services can cost quite a bit on a monthly basis. For example, the project management software I'm using, Monday.com, I'm paying $50 a month for it, and it is very full featured. But if I ask myself which of those features I'm actually using, I think it's pretty basic, and I could probably whip up some tool with Codex in a day or two that suits my needs and just save the $50 a month. If you're going down this route, here's how you would start. So step one would be getting your free Zapier account. You can click on the link over there or in the description below. You're going to arrive at this page. You're going to click on sign up in the upper right hand corner to create a free account. And then once you get inside your free account, you're going to arrive on a page like this. You're going to click on app connections here, and then you're going to click add connection, and you're going to search for your app. Zapier has over 9,000 different apps, so chances are what you want to use will be here. I'm just using this as an example. You're going to click add connection. It's going to pop open a little window and asks you for a couple of pieces of information. It's going to give you instructions on exactly where to find these things in whatever service you're using. So you plot these things in, you hit continue, and it will make the connection. And your setup for that service is complete. You don't need to specify specific actions or specific endpoints, none of that. You can see I've connected a whole bunch of different services, right? So this would be step two. Now, step number three would be to actually use your agent to build your app and to use Zapier SDK. Now, the good news is that I used Codex. It already knows how to integrate and use Zapier SDK, so that's perfect. And then step four, in terms of how to actually use the app that was built, you can just use it locally. You don't need to deploy it on a web server or anything. I've built about 3 different tools that I use internally day to day, and they all run on localhost, which basically means that these apps are running on my machine and it's not exposed to anyone else. You don't have to worry about someone seeing your app and using it. If you're interested in coding your own internal tools with agents such as Codex or Claude Code, then comment below and let me know that's what you want, because that is exactly what I'll create a video on. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.